Helion Avenge 10MT XLR with the 4300 kV motor and the castle. What's up, man? I put a different 4300. I put one of the black ones in. That orange one, I don't know. Something about it. It had good leads. But looking at the bearings, I didn't like them. So I had an extra one of these, so try one of these out. These are more like the OCDAY ones. The other one was like a R Charlance or something. That's my boy Johnny. Oh, curbed it. She's a beast. I was going slow. A couple scratches by the Helion bumper area. Couldn't see it. Oh man, she's running perfect, I think. About perfect speeds, about, really can't give it up to full speed on right here, but you can try. Kind of slowly feed it. Well, she got to full speed at the end a little bit. Oh, I'm getting a range issue here. Huh. Is that a range issue? Or is that a getting hot issue? Let's see. It's pretty warm. That motor's hot. Time for some diff tuning, guys. Peace. Guys, just want to show you real fast how this comes apart. So you've got two screws here, and then underneath you've got two more on the side, and then two in the front of this housing, and then the center diff housing and the rear end come apart from the chassis, as you can see here. So two screws here, two screws there, and then the two screws on the top, and then bam, it just pulls right apart. And then of course you have to disconnect your light. And it's that simple. In here you see you have your drive shaft, pinion, and here you have the diff. 32 pitch gear diff. Anyway guys, let me get this out and I'm going to change the fluid. This is the center diff pinion. The center diff rear gear. And you see in there the way it meshes in. Pretty good. I can barely turn that. I have to put a lot of pressure to turn that. This is the reason why the motors were getting hot on these. It's way too thick. When I open this up, it's gonna look like mud. I already know. If you watch Richie's Driftomaniac video on when he installed the center diff in his Traxxas, I think it's very similar to this one. It's a 32 pitch center diff in his Traxxas Rally, and it was so stiff that it was overheating his motors in his system. And the same thing's happening to me. And I had a feeling that it was the diff, and I'm positive it is now because I can barely turn this thing. You know, so I'm gonna change the oil, and then we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Oh yeah. And that gasket's torn too. That gasket will be okay. But yeah, it's like mud. Well, so let me clean this out, and yeah, let me clean this out and we'll add fluid to it. So it's much better now. It wasn't just the grease was so thick, it was like mud, number one, but it was also over tightened. The diff was so tight that the mesh was over tightened. So it was just causing so much strain on the motor. It was overheating the motor, then overheating the system. And that's why my first ESC probably burnt out. I mean, it's still stiff. Look at that, it's stiff. Maybe I'll go with a little thinner oil. All right, guys, hold on. Just make sure not to tighten this too much. If you tighten it too much, and then I think that's what the problem was before. Like, it was super tight from the factory, and it just wasn't allowing it to spin, you know? Maybe there's a shim in there. I didn't actually, all I did was clean the grease out. I didn't disassemble completely. Like, I didn't take this rear pinion off and pull this out. But there might be a shim in there. Maybe you could take the shim out. Or maybe you can just maybe put 2 gaskets, and it would be fine. But I just didn't tighten it like super duper snug. It's tightened, it's good, it's on there, it ain't going nowhere. But I just didn't give that extra little oomph, because if you do, it will not spin. All right, guys, peace. Out here with One-Eyed Willie, or One-Eyed Wheelie. Either way, she was not running well with the Sidewinder. It was overheating almost instantly, so we've got an OCDAY 80 amp, and I've also tuned the diff. When I pulled the diff out, you'll see the video. It was way too thick. It was like mud, and I could barely spin it with my hand. And so it was causing too much friction on the motor, and it was heating up all these motors. Oh yeah. Oh, I love it right now. Oh, I'm getting range issues with this thing, though. With this receiver, I just ran out of range right there. Happened earlier. Let's see if anything's getting warm. Nope. Nope, nice and cool. The Sidewinder was getting hot on 1 or 2 runs up and down the street. It was getting hot on me. Whoa. So I think the diff was a little bit too loose, too thin, I mean. It slides better though.
I gotta adjust the brakes on this now too. I think this is all stock settings on this ESC. I haven't gone through it. I just popped it in and wanted to try it. A little laggy. Crazy. Yeah, I gotta adjust the brakes. Yeah, I'm happy with it, guys. It runs great with this ESC. All right, peace.